Hello friends, welcome to my channel Everyday Insight. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about writing task 2 question and explaining how to answer that question in detail. So if you like this video, kindly like, share and subscribe to my channel for further updates and further questions and details regarding all the 4 modules. As you can see in this video, there is a page in front of you that gives you a sample answer for one of the questions that you can get in your writing task 2. This question is based on problem, causes and effects. Now this page is divided into 2 portions. The right hand side will be the answer that we'll be going through later on in the video. And the left hand side is divided into 3 portions. One of them is the question, planning and structure. Now if you can see in the top left hand corner is the question. That is what you will get in the exam. So that will be your question that you will be getting in the exam, and the next 2 portions that you can see on the left hand side, that is in center, planning portion and structure, that is what you will be doing according to your answer. Now your planning portion is the portion where you will be taking 5 minutes out of your exam time for your writing task 2, that is from 40 minutes, and just thinking and understanding the question and then writing the reasons what they have asked you in the question. So that will be the planning portion, and next to it, underneath it, below to it is the structure. Then the structure is where you will be writing your answer according to this structure that is framed in the right hand side as the answers for problem, causes and effects. Now I'm going to explain the sample answer in detail, including all the structures. So I hope you like this video. Okay, in today's session, we'll be going through writing task 2, problem, causes and effects. Now in this type of question is also called a 2 question answer, where they're asking you 2 things. Okay, and in this 2 things, there will actually be 3 things. However, out of the 3, 1 will be given in the question, while the other 2 will be asked from you as you have to write this. Okay, so let's go through this. As you can see our answer sheet, the left hand side is the question, planning and structure, while on the right hand side is our answer. Let's go through the question that is on the left hand side. The question is, today more people are overweight than ever before. What in your opinion are the primary causes of this? What are the main effects of this epidemic? They are considering being overweight as an epidemic because a lot of people are overweight nowadays. Okay, overweight, if you can think of any other word when it comes to overweight, synonym words that considers overweight is obesity. So we can consider overweight or obesity, both of them, when it comes to considering people who are gaining a lot of weight because of their natural habits or their mistakes that they do when it comes to health, keeping their health clean or keeping their health safe. Okay, so that means their lifestyle is not up to the mark. So that is what it means when it comes to overweight. Okay, now any doubts in today more people are overweight than ever before? Now let's look at the planning stage. Now as I said before, there are 3 things in this question. One of the things will be given in the question itself and 2 things you will have to answer. The problem is already given in the question, that is being overweight. So I have written the planning portion as problem, overweight people, problem already defined in the question. And the question is asking us to write the causes as well as the effects. That means what are the causes of being overweight and what are the effects of being overweight. Now we are not giving solutions in this, we are giving what the effects are of being obese. Okay, so no solutions should be mentioned in your answer for this question. Again, even in the question, they're asking you, first things that they're asking you is causes and effects. So you will be writing your causes in your body paragraph 1 and then your effects in body paragraph 2. Do not interchange the body paragraphs, do not interchange causes and effects, because you cannot give the effects first and then write the causes. Everything has to be in a structure, so stay within that structure. Now as you can see on the left hand side in the table in my planning portion, I have given 2 points for causes, 2 points for effects. Why I have not written a third one is because I do not want to waste time writing the third point when I'm not even going to use it in my answer. So avoid writing a point. Only write the point when you think that you might not be able to explain the 2 points and complete the word limit. Only then, unless write only 2 points each, explain them fully within the word limit between 250 to 280 words, minimum 250, maximum 280. Do not go beyond that and it will be fine. Okay. Now let's look at the causes. The causes for obese or being overweight is inactive lifestyle. One second. Okay. Now, as you can see, the problem is already given in the question. Now, what are the causes for this? The causes are inactive lifestyle. That means people do not have an active lifestyle when it comes to their health. Okay, so they rely on cars instead of walking, fewer physical demands at work, inactive leisure activities. So inactive leisure activities meaning rather than going out and having any going to the gym or playing badminton or playing cricket or any other sport or any other physical activity or any other leisure activity or walking or running or jogging or just trekking, other than that they prefer staying at home playing video games or anything. So this is not only talking about adults, this can also be talking about children. However, the question is not talking about children, they're talking about more people. So remember, you cannot just convey this answer to children. You cannot put children in this, as it is not asking you directly whether children are overweight or not. They're just asking whether people are overweight or not. Do you think a lot of people are overweight, and what are the causes and effects for that? So make sure that you do not add children into it. Next cause is unhealthy eating habits. That we already know that a lot of people eat fast food, high calorie food, okay, drinking high calorie beverages, consuming large portions of food, eating irregularly. Now this is one of the causes for unhealthy. These are one of the causes for being overweight. If people start taking their meals regularly and in small portions, and stop taking fast food, stop eating fast food and eating healthy, that is a solution. So do not write solutions in your answer. Make sure that you are just writing causes, how it is caused. That means being overweight, how it is caused. So we've written 2 points for this. We've written 2 points for this: inactive lifestyle and unhealthy eating habits. Next are, what are the effects for this? For, according to me, the effects for this is physical health problems. So if you have an inactive lifestyle or if you have unhealthy eating habits, so obviously you're going to have health problems. So these are the effects of being overweight. Next is loss of productivity and depression and mental illness. A lot of people who start gaining weight, they go into depression thinking I am a lot fat, I am very fat and people will make fun of me or something like that. So they tend to go into depression and they tend to get more lazy and they have a loss of productivity. Meaning if they want to get something done, it will take them more time to complete that work when it comes to, when comparison in comparison to a person more healthier will take less time to complete a work. Okay, any doubts in problem, causes and effects? Next comes the structure. So we now have our 2 points for causes and effects. Now we will be writing our structure. We will be going through our structure. That way we will be writing our answer. Always remember, your task 2 writing will always be in 4 paragraphs. Your first paragraph will be your introduction. Your second paragraph will be the first thing that they're asking you in the question to write. The second body paragraph will be the second thing that they're asking you to write, and then the conclusion. Always remember, this is a 2-part answer question where they're asking you to write 2 things: causes as well as effects. So that is why body paragraph 1 will include information, will include your data, will include your content regarding your causes, and body paragraph 2 will have your content regarding the effects. Now let's come to the introduction. We'll go one by one through the paragraphs as well as the structure. Now your introduction requires two things that you need to write. First is restate the problem. Restating the problem means today more people are overweight than ever before. This statement, restate it, meaning paraphrase it, meaning write it in your own words, not copy paste, in your own words. Clear? And the next thing that you will be writing in your introduction is say what you will write in the essay or give your opinion as well. The choice is yours if you want to give your opinion. However, please remember the points that you are already writing are already your opinion. According to you, inactive lifestyle and unhealthy eating habits are the causes. Physical health problem and depression and mental illness is are one of the are two effects. So that is already your opinion. So you don't have to personally write, I feel that a lot of people are overweight because of so and so reason. Don't write so and so reasons in your introduction. Just introduce what you are writing about. That is it. No reasons ever in your introduction. Clear? So let's read the answer. The first paragraph for the answer on the right hand side is the first line is paraphrasing the question. Now the question was today more people are overweight than ever before. So we are writing, paraphrasing that. Nowadays, the number of overweight people is constantly increasing. Nothing other than that. Just paraphrasing the same question. After that, we will be writing what I'm going to discuss in my essay. This essay will discuss the main reasons of this epidemic and then describe the possible effects of the problem. So main reasons meaning causes. So rather than saying causes, I used a synonym word for that, main reasons of this epidemic, and then I said the possible effects of this problem. The problem is already mentioned in the first line, being overweight. So that is the end of my introduction. Now we will move to the next body paragraph 1. In your body paragraph 1, state two main causes, explain the causes, example and short summary optional. So again, please remember, if you think you have an example, give it. If you do not have an example, it's okay. You can write about the example in the next paragraph. When I say optional, optional meaning throughout both the body paragraphs, one example is compulsory. However, if you think that you are going to write an example in the second body paragraph, you can miss it in the first body paragraph. If you're going to write it in the first body paragraph, you can miss it in the second body paragraph. Okay? Now, again, keeping sure that you are writing within the word limit as well. Do not go beyond the word limit. So we will first write our two main causes, explain the causes, example if there are, and a short summary if you think you want to give a short summary for those 2 points only, not the effects, just for causes. So let's read the body paragraph 1 for causes. In my opinion, the foremost causes of obesity are inactive lifestyle and unhealthy eating habits. So in this line, I have mentioned both my points for causes. Then I will start explaining my both points, inactive lifestyle and unhealthy eating habits, one by one and giving the example side by side. Let's read further on. Today, more and more people rely on cars instead of walking, have less physical demands at work, and prefer inactive leisure activities. This results in burning less calories and gaining weight. So, I have expanded my answer, expanded my first point of inactive lifestyle. I have no example for this, so I have finished it at that. This results in, meaning summary, this results in burning less calories and gaining weight. So I have given a summary for my point, first point. Next, I am writing moreover. Moreover meaning a connector, a linker, specifying that another reason is that I mentioned in my first sentence, unhealthy eating habits. So moreover, the problem is accentuated by the growing number of people who eat irregularly and consume large portions of high calorie food. So I explained my second point of unhealthy eating habits, expanded my answer. Now I'm going to give an example. As I said, example and summary are optional. So in the first point, I have given a summary, and in the second point for my causes, I am giving an example. For example, about 50% of the adult population in Europe with so-called disordered eating suffer from obesity. Now, if you can see, I have clearly written the word Europe, a continent Europe. If you have for a fact that you can give you know for a fact that it is factual information, then only use a continent name or a country name or something that is for a fact. Unless, make sure that you are not using that. Give a more generalized example. Always begin your example with for example. Please do not ever use abbreviations. For eg, okay, for ex, don't use that. Write full form, for example, comma. So I've given an example as well, and that is the end of my causes. My body paragraph 2 will have, if my body paragraph 1 is talking about the causes, my body paragraph 2 will be talking about the main effects. So again, the sequence remains the same. Let's look at the structure. Body paragraph 2, state 2 main effects, explain the effects, example and short summary for each is optional. Again, it will be optional. Okay, let's read the answers. The possible effects of this problem include physical health problems and loss of productivity. So in my first line, I have just specified both my points, just briefly specified both my points without explaining them. After this line, I will start explaining both my points one by one with an example or short summary, which is optional. I have already given one example in my body paragraph 1. So if I want to avoid giving an example here, I can avoid giving an example. I can consider it optional. However, if you have an example, please do specify. You're not getting extra marks for writing more examples. It just tells the examiner that you have thorough knowledge about the topic. Next, we'll read on expanding my answer, my effects. First of all, as I said, as I have always mentioned before, that in your essay writing in task 1 or task 2, you can never use numbering. Always use English words to define the numbering. So firstly, secondly, on the one hand, on the other hand, or using first of all, second of all. So use these words to specify the numbering. If you can see, I have used moreover in my body paragraph 1, specifying that another point is. Okay, the same thing I'm doing in this one, in this paragraph, second paragraph. First of all, obesity results in incorrect functioning of the human body and contributes to the risk of developing some chronic illness. So generally just expanded my answer for physical health problems. Then I'm giving an example because I thought giving an example would explain it more better rather than giving a specific name for a disease. If you use a medical term, a technical term, make sure that you are explaining what that technical term is, because you cannot always assume that the assessor who will be checking your answer would also know the meaning of the technical term. So use a more generalized word when it comes to diseases. So that is why I have written chronic illness. For example, as body fat percentage increases, the person's metabolism worsens, which in turn may result in diabetes or heart disease. So simple terms when it comes to diseases, I have just written diabetes or heart diseases because these are common terms used by everyday people. They know about this. So I've given an example. Now that is the end of my first point when it comes to physical health problems. Now I will explain the second point. Secondly, overweight people are very unhealthy and often suffer from stress and tiredness, because I'm talking about loss of productivity and depression and mental illness. So that is my point, loss of productivity. So I'm talking about that a lot of people are unhealthy and often suffer from stress and tiredness. This lessens their work capacity and results in lower productivity. So that means because they're in a lot of stress, that is why they're not able to concentrate properly. And if they're not able to concentrate properly, they will not be able to work as much as they should. Then I'm giving an example. For example, it has been proven that an obese person needs to put more effort to complete some task than a person with normal weight. As I mentioned before in the when I was explaining the loss of productivity and depression and mental illness before we started this, when we went through the planning stage, that when it comes to an obese person, when they have to do something, they have to put in more effort. So this is what I've mentioned, explained using my example. If you can see, I have not given any summary in this. However, I have given two examples in this. I'm not going to get extra marks for writing three examples altogether, in one example in my body paragraph 1 and two examples in my body paragraph 2. It just tells the examiner that I have thorough knowledge and it looks good. That will be the end of the body paragraph 2, and my last paragraph will be conclusion. That is, just in 2 or 3 lines, just briefly restate your main causes and your effects in your body paragraph with your opinion. Again, I'm mentioning it again, the points that you are writing are already your opinion, so you don't have to personally go on explaining the reasons again in your conclusion. You're just briefly specifying your opinion. Okay, so let's read that. Always begin your conclusion with to conclude, in conclusion, to sum up. If you feel that you have less words and you want to increase more words, you can use the content taking everything into consideration. So that increases by 4 words when it comes to your conclusion. So rather than writing to sum up, you can always write taking everything into consideration. That will be 4 words. To sum up, obesity is a big problem that affects a lot of people nowadays. So I've just restated the question again. Obesity, that means overweight. It's mainly caused by inactive lifestyle and eating disorders. So just given 2 points for causes, inactive lifestyle and eating disorders, and results in severe health problems and loss of productivity. So that is my end of the conclusion, where I have throughout my answer, in my introduction I have stated everything, just introduced my essay, and then in my body paragraph 1 I have explained my causes, both points. In my body paragraph 2 I have explained my possible effects because of that problem, and in my conclusion just briefly summed up everything I have written in my body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, and that is the end of your task to answer.
I hope you liked this video with the sample answer. So kindly like, share and subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you.